colleague Dipna Anand joining us for that session. So you don't have to be a woman to care about women. So please do join us.
Employers actually making packages now, or giving an employee suitable packages that work for them. So there are so many opportunities now. But you're quite right, in my kitchen in Southall and at Somerset House, there are more men in the kitchen. Front of house, we have more females now who are joining. When I go into a kitchen and I cook for 200 to 300 people at once, I like to think that I can do the jobs just as well as the men can. But obviously when it comes to picking up, you know, a bag of onions that is this big, I might need a little bit of help, but I like to think that I can do all the other things. And I think that's what it is all about, you know. I remember when I used to lecture here at the university, the first lecture that I conducted, I walked in and the student said, "Oh, are you a new student joining us?" And I said, "No, I'm your lecturer." And they're like, "Ah." And I said to them, "Yeah, bruv." And they said, "Oh."
They deserve, really, and they have the opportunity to develop their potential when they're with us. Equally with staff, I think one of the things that, again, we luckily have done very well, it's students' feedback is our student experience, you know, they feel that they've got really good student experience with us. And one of the things that we think definitely contribute to that, it's the diversity of our staff and the inclusiveness that staff feel in the school. So we don't, you know, I would say, you know, it doesn't matter, you know, whether you're female, you're male, where you come from. We are just a very inclusive body of staff who are passionate about developing students. Now, when you have that, it kind of translates into how they develop students. So that's my take on about, you know, equity, really.
Well, sometimes it's important is to start early because of the cumulative effect. And we'll speak about when it comes to equity, then if a male counterparty starts at X age and even contributes more, what's important is for the lady to start a bit sooner because of the things that come our way later, which is maternity, which is like part-time work. All these things bring us a bit more flexibility, but they also reduce our income, and that reduces, of course, our pension, and there's like the pension wealth gap. And I'm not saying we shouldn't be having babies, I have two. I'm not saying we shouldn't be having maternity leaves, I've taken two fully. But it's having that awareness and like, where do I stand and what do I need to do to bridge that gap so I don't look back and say, oh, what did happen with my pension? Why am I retiring with so little compared to a male counterparty? It's all about the awareness.
You're 16, 18, 21 and you stay there for life. My generation they say that,
but with the old mindset, you feel that you're trapped in that, you know, everybody expect you to do that. Nowadays, basically, you can change career anytime you want, and we see so many women entrepreneurs were born after they've got their children because they're like, look, I can't juggle with that and that, but if I start my own business, I could do it. So there are lots of those, you know, in the news and people I know myself, and so I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. The rest of my cousins all wanted to be accountants, lawyers and doctors. I think that nowadays has changed quite a lot, and the mindset has changed, and people now respect different professions. So now suddenly when you tell someone, oh, I'm a chef, they're like, well, they have to kind of double take, oh wow, you're a chef, you're a female chef in this industry. That's great. So I think you have to love what you do, but I don't think there's any issue with changing career paths halfway down the line. I certainly wouldn't have an issue with, you know, when I have kids in the future, with my kids saying, oh, you know, sod this chef profession, I want to now go and become a doctor. I think it's absolutely fine. I'm fine with it.
She retired on the same job she ever had. Like, so is my dad. This was the generational thing.
Yeah.
And we were advised as well, find a secure job. I was advised, I was good with languages and maths, but my parents insisted no maths. There was no financial advisors and even hedge funds or anything like that in Bulgaria when I grew up. They were like, languages, something about tourism. You know, it's a good country to study that. Well, behold, when I came to London, everybody was saying, finance, but you also want to raise a family? I'm not sure about that. And I think similarly to your comment before, when I was working for a big corporation, I was put on the side for promotions with my first and with my second child. And
we will help them to try to get into the hub, and then
Has anybody tried any Indian cooking recently?
Today's International
Women's Day, so that's why I think it would be wonderful to donate to this all. And it's autographed, so it's got that extra special touch.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
You're welcome.